Hare Krishna. So, yesterday we had just started the 17th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and we had discussed that the 17th chapter mainly deals with the subject matter of faith. So, that we have discussed. Then basically, the name of the chapter is itself Shraddhata Vibhaga Yoga. And Krishna tells Arjun that Yaha Sastra Vidhi Mutsrijya Vartate Kamakarata. Like that, he concludes one of the second last verse uh, of 16th chapter. Yah Sastra Vidhi Musijya Vartate Kamakarata. So Arjuna starts asking question in 17th chapter. Yah Sastra Vidhi Musijya Yajante Shraddhayanvita. Like that, Tesam Nishta tu Kaha Krishna. Sattvam Aho Rajastamaiti. Like that, he asks a question. Very similar. Yah Sastra Vidhi Musijya Vartate Kamakarata. That is Krishna's describing the demoniac people, those who are demoniac in nature, and what happens to them and how he deals with them, what is their understanding, and how he explains them at a great length in 16th chapter. And they glide down to lower species of life. So that clear, Krishna makes very clear. But here there is, and they are not eligible for practicing jnana. Yes, but the kama karata. As soon as somebody acts as per the whimsically, he is not fit for practicing jnana yoga. Definitely. But here he says that one who has shraddha, and he had and so he has a hope. He is Shastra Vidya Mustajya. He is not doing as per the scriptural rules, and he may not be, doing it as per the scriptures, but because of he might be doing it Lokajata Shraddha. There is Shastriya Shraddha and Lokajata Shraddha. Shraddha which one gets because of his upbringing, because of his association with his childhood parents or relatives or elders he has seen, and he is acting as per that. So that is called Yajante Shraddhayanvita. Like many of us also get into Krishna consciousness because we saw that somebody is chanting, we just start chanting. But we don't practice it because we studied the scriptures and we know that we have to chant. In Kali Sankaran Upanishad, it is there that you have to chant. No, we don't chant because of that. Many a times you find Krishna in ISKCON, people practicing bhakti also like that. But that is a different set of thing, because when it comes to bhakti, it is different. But yajante means one worships, and if you see the Arjuna's question in 17th chapter, first shloka. So the first shloka he says that yajante shraddhayanvita, and they worship out of faith. So their situation is little better than those who are yajante kamakarata. Yes, Vidya Musijya Vartate Kamakarata. Their situation is much better than previous one that is discussed in the 16th chapter. So these are the people. So there is a mixed crowd here. Some of them, they are demoniac, and some of them they will get elevated. They'll upgrade because of having, faith in Sattvagun. They will get upgraded. There is a hope of getting liberated also. And towards the end, Krishna will tell them that they can chant Om Tat Sat. There are last 5 or 6 verses. He will be telling about Om Tat Sat. By chanting the name Om Tat Sat, one can spiritualize one's activity, or which one is doing, and that can be considered to be a spiritual activity and can be liberating like that. So towards the last, he will tell in the 17th chapter, I believe, 18, 19, 20, something like that, by chanting Om Tat Sat. So nevertheless, before that, he will describe, people's faith, and faith we had discussed last class that it is coming from the modes. Swabhavam, coming from Swabhava. Bhava means modes of material nature. We had discussed yesterday. Bhava can be spiritual world, spiritual nature, can be material nature, can be devotion, can be emotion, like that, material emotion. So bhava also can mean body. And bhav is can be of spiritual nature and material nature. So here the swabhava which Krishna is talking in this last time we were discussing yesterday, it is basically is telling the nature one has acquired because of his association, because of his association, that's his swab, because of his association with the modes. How you deal with the modes, how you interact with the modes, and how you rejoice dealing with the mode. Accordingly, you evolve at certain type of faith, and that becomes your fate. Faith becomes destiny, actually, eventually. Fate. So that's why Swabhava is stressed there by Krishna. So we'll recite the first three slokas and then we'll have discussion. Here is Gita Subodhini's like different segment of this 17th chapter. First is Arjuna's inquiry about worshipping of those people, worship of those people whose faith, who are faithful in worshipping, but it is not based on scriptures. Very clearly it is mentioned. And then Krishna starts answering about faith and the worship, and then he tells about different foods in modes. Because once a person is having certain type of faith, he will having that kind of taste, ruchi. All of you know also Shraddha, then then there is Nishtha Ruchi. So it springs from there. So person has that kind of taste. So his food also you like. Some people like spicy, some people, like that. So it is because of cultivation, and the cultivation is a product of one's regular association, and that association is because of faith. And then sacrifice, yajna, one performs yajna also depending upon his faith, which is the yajna is also rooted in faith. And then the type of austerity one engages, tapasya. So yajna, dana, tapasya, all this is springing from one's faith. That's why Krishna categorizes them and clearly tells them what type of faith one has, accordingly one engages in that. And then towards the last 23 to 28, 6 verses, Krishna glorifies how all these activities can be made into spiritual, although they are in modes, by chanting the mantra Om Tat Sat, like that. So this is about the whole summary of the chapter. Just the first look, if you understand nicely, more or less you'll understand the whole chapter. It's nothing much. Okay. Somebody can read here in this chapter.
In this chapter, Arjun asks Krishna about fate of those who have some other faith which is not based on the scriptures. In response, Krishna describes about faith and various other items in the three modes. In short, Krishna described in chapter 16 people of two extremes: those who have scriptural faith, which are divine, and the faithless, who are demoniac. In chapter 17, he describes those who are in the middle, that is, with non scriptural faith.
So I hope it's clear. If you understand these two paragraphs, you will understand the whole chapter. So that's why before we proceed further, I would like to ask anybody has any question at this point. Okay, fine, we'll proceed then. So, okay. Yes, Arjun Sarthi Prabhu, yes, Prabhu.
Here, so those who have some sort of faith that they have received from their parents or anywhere, it's not a scriptural. But somebody who is having, he does not have faith, but he is working as a kamakarata just to satisfy his senses.
Yeah.
But then this two seems to be very similar actually, because people are also
Yeah.
worshiping, they're
Yes.
still not worshipping God.
Yes, yes.
Even whatever they are doing, what little is ultimately for their sense gratification only. So how do we differentiate?
Yeah, yes, Prabhu. This is Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur also says Asuri Shraddha, he says. That's why the three modes concept comes here: Rajogun, Tamagun, and Satogun. And we know very well that if a person is in Rajogun, Tamagun is more or less is demoniac only. That's why you will find a lot of similarities in people who are those people and people's faith who are in Rajogun and Tamagun. Very similar. Their destinies, they will glide down. But people who are on Sattogun, there is a good chance that they will get liberated because they are doing out of duty. They did not study the scriptures very much, but he understood from his grandfather that this has to be done, and you have to do it. And he is a Sattoguni person. Then naturally he will come across to some sadhus, and he will respect. He will get some opportunity to hear, and then he will get rooted into proper faith. There is a lot of probability in that way. That's why the discussion has to be made here. So these people are not outrightly atheistic. They are outrightly atheistic, but here these people have a like innocence because they just don't know. That's why there's a chance that they may get upgraded. That's why the discussion is coming here.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Okay, we'll proceed ahead. Okay, I think we had recited this. So this is like the seed verse of the whole chapter, making discussion ahead. And so here we'll start the second shloka. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha
श्रीभगवान् उवाच
Trividha Bhavati Shraddha
त्रिविधा भवति श्रद्धा
Dehinam Sa Swabhavaja
देहिनां सा स्वभावजा
Sattviki Rajasi Chaiva
सात्विकी राजसी चैव
Tamasi Cheti Tam Srunu.
तामसी चेति तां शृणु.
So here Krishna is telling Arjun, please understand, three vidha bhavati shraddha. People have three type of faith. The faith is categorized into three type. And how? Sa swabhavaja, depending upon the living entities association with the modes. Accordingly, one evolves into particular type of faith. Like that Krishna does. And then you hear that as I'm explaining Rajagun, Tamagun, and Satyam. So please read the translation.
प्रीतिश पात्रा प्रभु प्रिय अर्जुन को.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, according to the modes of nature acquired by the embodied soul, one's faith can be of three kinds: in goodness, in passion, or in ignorance. Now, hear about this. Purport: those who know the rules and regulations of the scriptures, but out of laziness or indolence, give up following these rules and regulations, are governed by the modes of material nature. According to their previous activities, in the mode of goodness, passion, or ignorance, they acquire a nature which is of a specific quality. The association of the living entity with with the association of the living entity with the different modes of nature has been going on perpetually since the living entity is in contact with material nature. He acquires different types of mentality according to his association with the material modes. But this nature can be changed if one associates with a bona fide spiritual master and abides by his rules and the scriptures.
So
Gradually,
this Srila Prabhupada explains here that word Dehinam Sa Swabhavaja. Basically, in these two statements which Prabhu read now, Dehinam Sa Swabhavaja is explained here. How one gets a particular type of faith by associating with the modes. And one can change, Srila Prabhupada says, definitely by associating with the spiritual master. Generally, one, by following the rules and regulations of the scriptures, one gradually upgrades himself. But if one associates with spiritual master, one can it's a one-stroke method. One can transcend the modes by associating with the spiritual master also directly. One will not go through the gradual evolution. Prabhupada is telling one can change from position of ignorance to goodness and passion to goodness. Okay. here. Now in this sloka, Krishna is again explaining about Shraddha at a greater length. There he says about the origin of Shraddha, and he says that the nature of Shraddha, how it is. He says, so two things are being spoken here, if you observe carefully. Okay, we'll recite this one. Sattvanurupa sarvasya
Sattvanurupa sarvasya
Shraddha bhavati bharata
Shraddha bhavati bharata
Shraddha mayoyam purusho
Shraddhamaya ayam purusho
Yo yat Shraddha sa eva saha.
yo yat Shraddha sa eva saha.
So here Krishna is telling Sattvanurupa sarvasya Shraddha. हर किसी का श्रद्धा कैसा है? सत्व रूप का है, सत्व गुण का है. मतलब आपका श्रद्धा रजोगुणी श्रद्धा हो सकता है, तमोगुणी श्रद्धा हो सकता है, या फिर सत्वगुणी श्रद्धा हो सकता है. लेकिन जो श्रद्धा जो है वो सत्वगुण का होता है हर किसी का. सर्वस्व श्रद्धा जो होता है वो सत्वगुण से बना होता है. सत्वगुण क्यों? क्योंकि कृष्ण जो श्रद्धा है वो फेथ इंट्रिंसिकली जो फेथ होता है वो सत्वगुण का होता है. फेथ इन इट्स लाइक फेथ जो होता है वो सत्वगुण का होता है. लेकिन आपका श्रद्धा रजोगुणी हो सकता है, तमोगुणी हो सकता है, सत्वगुणी हो सकता है. लेकिन जो इन जनरल जो श्रद्धा का नेचर है, जो उसका जो इंट्रिंसिक कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स है वो है सत्वगुणी. इसलिए कहते हैं सत्वानुरूप. क्योंकि क्यों सत्वगुणी है? क्योंकि श्रद्धा जो होता है, सत्वगुण का नेचर क्या होता है? सत्वगुण इतना जल्दी चेंज नहीं होता है, फट से चेंज नहीं होता है. सत्व मीन्स इट इज ऑन द लेवल ऑफ मेंटेनेंस. तमोगुणी इज इन द नेचर ऑफ destruction, and rajoguni is in the like process of creation, jumping from one to another, but maintenance is in sattva-gun. That's why कोई चीज सत्वगुण में रहता है तो वो चीज लॉन्गिटिविटी रहता है. इट इज लाइक मेंटेनेंस, इट इज लाइक सस्टेनेंस. सिमिलरली श्रद्धा जैसे होता है इतना आसान से चेंज नहीं होता है किसका, बहुत मुश्किल रहता है. श्रद्धा को चेंज करना, किसी आदमी को चेंज करने के लिए बहुत हार्डवर्क लगता है, बहुत हार्डवर्क लगता है. तो इसलिए श्रद्धा का इंट्रिंसिक नेचर होता है सत्वगुणी. वो इन जनरल जो श्रद्धा रहता है वो सत्वगुण से बना आता है. लेकिन आपका श्रद्धा रजोगुणी हो सकता है, तमगुणी हो सकता है, वो हो सकता है. लेकिन इन जनरल जो इंट्रिंसिक नेचर जो श्रद्धा का रहता है वो सत्वगुण रहता है. इसीलिए किस आदमी को चेंज करने के लिए उसको बोलते हैं पैराडाइम शिफ्ट. वो करने के लिए हमको बहुत मुश्किल रहता है. क्योंकि जैसे कि एक बहुत बड़े फेमस साइंटिस्ट थे, हम जब आश्रम ज्वाइन किए थे तो चैतन्य चरणपू उनको he was trying to preach, and he had lot of scientific faith on Quran, and he had published lot of scientific documents and then videos, and he had published. Chaitanya Chरणपू was by seeing his videos, he found that they are very similar and this person is little evolved. So he was trying to preach him, but he was telling it is very difficult because that person is now has invested all his faith in this Quran, and it is very difficult to change. That's how there is a saying in English also that an old dog cannot be taught new tricks, because वो old dog उसका जो श्रद्धा हो गया वो एस्टेब्लिश हो गया, उसको चेंज करना बड़ा मुश्किल होता है. तो श्रद्धा इन जनरल उसका नेचर और हर किसी का सत्वगुणी होता है, उसको चेंज करने के लिए बहुत डिफिकल्ट होता है. लेकिन फिर हमारा श्रद्धा रजोगुणी हो सकता है, तमोगुणी हो सकता है, सत्वगुणी हो सकता है, डिपेंडिंग अपॉन और एसोसिएशन ऑफ द मोड्स. और कृष्ण ये लास्ट लाइन बता रहे हैं, जो थर्ड लाइन है, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट. कहते हैं कि श्रद्धामयो यम पुरुषो. हर एक व्यक्ति श्रद्धामय होता है. श्रद्धामय मतलब क्या? ये नहीं कि श्रद्धावान होता है, श्रद्धावान अलग है. श्रद्धावान मतलब डिवोटी है, लेकिन श्रद्धामय मतलब हर एक व्यक्ति उसका श्रद्धा जैसा है वो व्यक्ति वैसा है. कहने का ये मतलब है, जिसका जहां पर श्रद्धा है वैसा है. जिसको श्रद्धा तमोगुणी वो तमोगुणी व्यक्ति होता है, जिसका श्रद्धा रजोगुणी है वो रजोगुणी व्यक्ति होता है. जिसका जैसा श्रद्धा है वो व्यक्ति, वी आर गवर्न्ड बाय द श्रद्धा, दैट्स व्हाई इट इज सेड श्रद्धामयो यम पुरुष। हर एक व्यक्ति श्रद्धामय होता है। कुछ लोग व्यक्ति सत्वगुणी होते हैं, उनका उनका बोलना सत्वगुणी होता है, खाना पीना रहना पहनना सब कुछ सत्वगुणी होता है। और जो रजोगुणी होते हैं वो बहुत हैंकी पैंकी ड्रेस, हेयर स्टाइल, स्पीच भी बहुत बहुत रेस्टलेस स्पीच होता है, एक जगह बैठ नहीं पाएंगे, तो वो वैसा श्रद्धा होता है। और तमोगुणी व्यक्ति खा पी के सो जाओ वैसा टाइप का रहता है। तो हर एक व्यक्ति जो होता है उसका पूरा जो behavior, lifestyle, everything is governed by Shraddha only. That's the meaning of this statement of Krishna, that Shraddha Mayo Yam Purusho. Okay, you can read this translation.
Rasarasik Prabhu.
Okay. Okay, Prabhu. O son of Bharat, according to one's
The son of
existence
Bharata.
under the O son of Bharat, according to one's existence under the various modes of nature, one evolves a particular kind of faith. The living being is said to be of a particular faith according to the modes he has acquired. Everyone
No,
has a
wait, wait, I'll tell you what to read. Yeah. Please read from here.
Now, the real fact is that every living being, as is stated in the 15th chapter, is originally a fragmental part and parcel of the Supreme Lord.
Where it is
Therefore,
said?
one
Where it is said in 15th chapter?
ममेवांशो जीवलोके जीव
loke
Yes.
jiv,
Yes. Yes, please read ahead.
originally fragmental part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, one is originally transcendental to all the modes of material nature. But when one forgets his relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and comes into contact with the material nature in conditional life, he generates his own position by association with the different varieties of material nature. The resultant artificial faith and existence are only material. Although one may be conducted by some impression or some conception of life, originally he is nirguna or transcendental. Therefore, one has to become cleansed of the material contamination that he has acquired in order to regain his relationship with the Supreme Lord.
Okay.
That is,
Okay, good. Here you can read the word Shraddha.
the word Shraddha or faith is very significant in this verse. Shraddha or faith originally comes out of the mode of goodness. One's faith may be in a demigod or some created god or some mental concoction. One's strong faith is supposed to be productive of work of material goodness, but in material conditional life, no works are completely purified. They are mixed. They are not in pure goodness. Pure goodness is
Yeah. Yes, Lord.
transcendental. In purified goodness,
Yes, Lord. Just wait. Yeah, Prabhupada says the process of how faith is established. Yeah, you can read the contaminated modes of material nature.
the contaminated modes of material nature expands to the heart. Therefore, according to the position of the heart is contact with a particular mode of material nature. One's faith is established. It should be understood that if one's heart is in the in the mode of goodness, his faith is also in mode of goodness.
Hmm.
If his heart is in mode of passion, his faith is also in the mode of passion.
Hmm.
And if his heart is in the mode of darkness, illusion, his faith is also thus interminating. Thus, we find different types of faith in this world, and there are different types of religions due to different types of faith.
Here is the answer to the question, if God is one, why there are so many religions? It is taken from here only. That depending upon people's faith, like that is there different type of religion. So three modes are there, and three modes they combine to be 9, and 9 combines to be 81, or like that. There are so many type of religions that are springing. That's what is being explained here. Okay. Now Krishna starts explaining. We'll be going a little fast from here onwards. Yeah, we can decide. Yajante satvika devan
यजन्ते सात्विका देवान्
yaksharaksham rajasaha
यक्षराक्षांसि राजसः
pretan bhutaganamschanye
प्रेतान् भूतगणांश्चान्ये
yajante tamasa janaha.
यजन्ते तामसा
Yeah,
जनाः.
Arjuna's question is directly answered here. Depending upon how a person has evolved in the past, how he has encountered the modes in the past before his previous life or in this life or during the childhood, accordingly he will start worshipping. Although he has not read scriptures, but he has a strong tendency to worship a higher power. And a person starts worshipping the demigods, those who are in Sattvagun. And naturally, the demigod worship is there in the Vedas. It is Karma Kanda section of the Vedas. That's why there is a chance that a person might get like gradually elevated. Because while worshipping the demigods, he will chant some mantras, or he will do some Vishnu mantras, and like that. And he might get elevated and might get upgraded like that. So that's why this. But here, the person who has a very Rajoguni type of nature, he will worship the ghost, hobgoblin, and or human beings. So that kind of Yaksha and Rakshas, that person, he's in Rajasi. They're like Rajoguni. And Bhuta and worshipping this kind of people, they're in Tamogun. So these two category are the people who will definitely get degraded, and they are demoniac people, no doubt. But the first category also there is a chance, because if it's not that they are also fixed, they will get because there is also tendency to enjoy, go to heaven, and not necessarily that they will get because ultimately here the section is Jnana Yoga, and the goal of this Jnana Yoga is evolving towards moksha, liberation. So in this, there is a probability that a person might go towards liberation. Then Krishna will tell that towards the end of this chapter, that by chanting Om Tat Sat, when you do, you may get to, you will get, not you may get, you will get elevated to spiritual understanding. That Krishna will tell by chanting Om Tat Sat. But as Arjun Sarthi Prabhu was asking this question very rightly, that this seems very similar, and that's why it is very similar. Yeah, these two categories are, they will eventually fall down in the category of 16th chapter, what Krishna has explained. But this first line people, there is a chance that they might get elevated. That's why Krishna is having discussion on them. Yeah. Please read this translation.
Sumit Prabhu.
Men in the mode of goodness worship the demigods, those in the modes of passion worship the demons, and those in the mode of ignorance worship ghosts and spirits.
And how the modes come? It is already being explained. The modes come due to his association in the past. How one has associated with because of family upbringing, and many things are there, many factors. How the modes influence us, association basically. And accordingly, a person evolves into a particular type of faith, and he engages in the. And many of you find 80% of in our ISKCON also, many of them did not study the scriptures and practice Krishna consciousness. It is not like that. They just like the person, and they like the person. Say somebody liked Radheshyam Prabhu, and he started practicing bhakti. So because the person had Sattva, that's why he had a liking for a sadhu. This is a Sattva quality. And then eventually he is in the right place, practicing Krishna consciousness, and coming towards Nirguna, transcendence. So that you can see the beauty of this. And somebody had faith in Rajagun Tamagun, they attended device, but they did not appreciate. They go, oh, this is what. They went back to the hostel and they got engaged in the previous sinful habits. So that's why the whole things are being discussed like that. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. These three things are described here clearly. Prabhupada will tell that those who are in Rajoguna, they worship even human beings. And Rajoguni people worship Brahma and Shiva. Satoguni people. We read here, according to scriptural injection.
According to scriptural injunction, only the Supreme Personality of Godhead is worshipable. But those who are not very conversant with or faithful to the scriptural injunctions worship different objects according to their specific situations in the modes of material nature.
The Prabhupada is clearly explaining here. You can see the very whole thing is whole last three slokas are discussed by Srila Prabhupada in this particular statement. That one who is conversant with scriptures, one who has studied one who knows, called Sarva Vedanta Paragaha. Like many Brahmanas are there, they also don't study scriptures. I was thinking, the Vedic Brahmanas, they study scriptures. It is said that Brahmananam sahasrebhyo satrayaji visisyate. Satrayaji sahasrebhyo sarva Vedanta paragaha. Sarva Vedanta vidkotya Vishnu bhakti vishishyate. Vaishnavanam sahasrebhyo ekanti eka vishishyate. Like that, there is a shloka in Padma Puran, in Garuda Puran. He says that Brahmananam sahasrebhyo satrayaji vishishyate. Among the Brahmanas, the best Brahmana is that person who knows how to conduct the yajnas, satrayaji. And among those who know how to conduct the yajnas, among them, thousands of Brahmanas like that, among them, who is best? That person who knows Sarva Vedanta Paragaha, one who has studied the Vedanta, who knows the essence of the Vedanta. That is the best person. And among those who know the Vedanta, Sarva Vedanta with Kotya, Vishnu Bhakti Vishishyate. Vishnu Bhakti Vishishyate. Among those who know the Vedanta, the scriptural codes, one who has become a devotee, he is best. Like that. So Prabhupada is telling that according to the scriptural injunction, only the Supreme Personality of Godhead is worshipable. He knows that Lord Vishnu has to be worshipped. That person. And he does not engage in so many, this kind of karma kandi activity, yajnas, put oblation there, put oblation here, put this here, put that. That kind of thing he's not so much interested in. As much as people now you see. And they're very much interested. That's called karma kandi faith. Karma kandi faith. Like my parents now, they have made a new house. So I told my parents that you call Vaishnavas and first let the Vaishnavas enter your house and then your karma kandi puja can start. My father, mother just started protesting like anything. There's no. Nothing like first our Brahmana will come, he will do the yajna, havan and swaha, all these things. Lot of smokes would come and then you call your people and because your people, they don't know the mantra and they don't have faith. I could clearly see. I told you just put the feet of these Vaishnavas. They will come from our temple. They will just be, and then your home will purify. You don't have to do anything else. My father did not accept. They were having a lot of, no, you don't know. You are just a kid. So you can see how those faith is not there. They have faith. Some Brahmana will come and that kind of thing. That's why a person who knows this, he has faith in the scriptures and he becomes a devotee. And he knows that only Lord Vishnu has to be worshipped. And then what happens? But those who don't have this kind of faith, who are not convergent with the scriptures, what happens to them? They engage themselves in worshipping some higher beings, depending upon their faith, which is coming from their previous association with the modes, like that. So very clearly it is being spoken that those who are in goodness, they worship the demigods. Here, those who are situated in mode of goodness, they worship the demigods, like that. And the demigods include Brahma, Shiva, and Indra, Chandra, Surya Dev, and all these things. And those in goodness worship a particular type of particular purpose. Similarly, those who are in mode of passion, they worship the demons. And Prabhupada says, we recall during the Second World War, a man in Calcutta worshipped Hitler because thanks to that war, he had amassed a large amount of wealth by dealing with the black market. So he benefited a lot during Hitler, because Hitler used to put the bombs in the Calcutta, British suburban region, and somehow he benefited. That's why he liked Hitler. So similarly, those in mode of ignorance, they worship this kind of ghost of goblin and all these people. They have a lot of faith. Sometimes they go to a proper selling, they go to a tomb, and there they sit silently and they take some lemon, some mirchi, some salt, not to make salad. They make some diagrams, and they place the salt and lemon, and then they invoke a very deadly spirit. Like that, if you travel in the train, you'll find that Baba Bengali and this kind of will be written. Sihajat Baba Bengali. So they fall in this kind of category. You know, if you do not have proper marriage or love marriage, or you have difficulty with enemy or something, like some legal issues come to us, we'll clear them off. So they take help of this kind of very tamoguni people, actually, very tamoguni people. Prabhupada says those who live in the forest, the virgins, they also worship very weird things, actually. So that they're definitely in tamoguni. To preach to this kind of people is very difficult. Prabhupada quotes that Sattvam Vishuddham Vasudeva Sabdhitam, that how Vishuddha Sattva worship is worshipping Lord Vasudeva. When a man is in pure goodness, he worships Lord Vasudeva. This is Lord Shiva's statement. Very beautiful statement. Shloka we can recite. All of you can recite this one. Sattvam Vishuddham Vasudeva Sabdhitam
Sattvam Vishuddham Vasudeva Shabditam
Yadiyate Tatra Puman Apabritah
Yadiyate Tatra Puman Apavritah
Tvecha Tasmin Bhagavan Vasudevo
Satve Ch Tasmin Bhagavan Vasudevo
Yadhoksajame Namasa Vidhiyate.
Ya Adokshajo Me Namasa Vidhiyate.
Yeah, I can read the translation.
Yes, Sumit, can continue.
I'm always engaged in offering obeisances to Lord Vasudeva in pure Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is always pure consciousness in which the Supreme Personality of Godhead, known as Vasudeva, is revealed without any coverings.
Nice. Yadiyate Tatra Puman Apabritah. He is revealed like that. Prabhupada says the impersonalists, they are not nirgun. They are more or less in mode of goodness, because they worship the 5 kinds of demigods. Pancha Upasana they do. Vishnu, then Lord Shiva, then this Suryadev, Durga, and Ganesh. So they worship. That's what they are Satyagun. Prabhupada describes about all that. Okay. And then now from 17.5 till 17.18, almost different modes and different style of people's living, like yajan, dan, and tapasya. All this will be categorized. So it will be simply a category. That's why I'm sharing the. We'll recite the slokas, and then we'll summarize the whole discussion from Gita Subodhini's table, in which everything is nicely put, so you can remember them. But you will recite the slokas. Asastra vihitam ghoram
Ashastra Vihitam Ghoram
tapyante ye tapo janaha
Tapyante Ye Tapo Janaha
dambhahankara samyuktaha
Dambhahankara Samyuktaha
kamaraga valanvitaha.
Kamaraga Balanvitaha
Very similar to what we discussed in 16th chapter. Karshayanta sarirastam
Karshayantah Sharirastham
bhutagramam acetasaha
Bhutagramam Acetasaha
mam chaivantaha sarirastam
Mam Chaivantah Sharirastham
tan vidhi asura nishchayam.
Tan Viddasura Nishchayan.
Yeah, read this discussion.
Sumukha Vishnu Prabhu.
Translation. Those who undergo severe austerities and penances not recommended in the scriptures, performing them out of pride and egoism, who are impelled by lust and attachment, who are foolish and who torture the material elements of the body as well as the super soul dwelling within, are to be known as demons.
So here Krishna is saying they torture the super soul. Can somebody torture the super soul? Why Krishna is telling that here they torture the super soul? Super soul, how can he be tortured? Yes, Prabhuji, ask Rasika Prabhu.
Yes. Prabhuji, as a Upadrishta and Anumanta, super soul is always with the Atmana, means always with the Jiva, and whatever Asuri activities that Jiva performs as a Upadrishta Anumanta, super soul will be she, and he feel that what kind of stuff this rascal is doing like this.
Okay, super soul gets displeased, that's possible. But why the word torture has come? Because torture is a very extreme way of expressing one's disgust. So why torture has come? Yes, Prabhu. Somebody is Amandar Prabhu.
Maybe because super soul is present in the heart of every living entity. So he is like he's like benefactor for everyone, and if some demonic personality, he is doing some austerities and some nonsense to fulfill his desires, but it is creating trouble for others. So that is not liked by the super soul himself. So it is like creating problem. Despite super soul don't want, but still he is creating problem for others. He is creating problem for himself and he is creating problem for others as well. So maybe in that way, it is torture to super soul.
Yeah. Yeah, in one sense, yeah, correct. Actually, here it is Krishna is expressing in terms of it is like, when it's like basically he's expressing his disgust. Sometimes, mother out of disgust, she scolds the son that तू मर जा, ऐसा कभी कोई माँ बोल देती, ठीक है तुम. So that like that is Krishna is expressing his disgust over these people. So that means he's taking they torture the super soul like that he is expressing out of it is like out of his great concern for them, and also to it is like sometimes you express you speak something you exactly don't mean it, but you want to just specify the degree, though it's not literally taken here, it is taken in the contextual, like he's expressing his disgust, but we need not take it very literally. He does not get tortured at all, because living entity goes to stool also, he's not at all tortured, but he's expressing his because he's conveying a very deep message here. So that's why he is putting in that step. Yeah. Okay. Prabhupada says about many things like unauthorized fasting and doing acts against the scriptural injunctions, how they achetasa. Here is the word achetasa, read from here. Yeah, the word achetasa.
So more questions, you can continue.
The word achetasa is significant in this connection. Person of normal mental condition must obey the scriptural injunctions. Those who are not in such a position neglect and disobey the scriptures and manufacture their own way of austerities and penances.
Yeah, one should always remember.
One should always remember the ultimate end of demoniac people, as described in the previous chapter. The Lord forces them to take birth in the wombs of demoniac persons.
Consequently,
Consequently, they will live by demonic principles life after life without knowing their relationship with the Supreme Personality of God.
yeah, if however,
If, however, if, however, such persons are fortunate enough to be guided by a spiritual master who can direct them to the path of
what happened? Hare Krishna.
I think some internet issue at his end.
Who I or he has given, I
No, no,
think.
he has. Yeah.
Yes. So direct to them path of Vedic wisdom, they can get out of this entanglement and ultimately achieve the supreme goal. So the essence lies in um, in encountering a pure devotee. Whatever faith one may be in, that's why tulayam labhenapi, tulayam labhenapi, there's a sloka, tulayam labhenapi, na swargam na punarbhavam, martyanam kim utasisa. That sloka is there.
Bhagavad Sangi Sangasya
Bhagavat Sangi
Nityanam.
Sangasya Martyanam Kim Upasasya. So this word Bhagavat Sangi Sangasya in this sloka has, this particular sloka is repeated twice in the Bhagavatam and 3 times in fact almost. If you see, I'll just type just 1 minute. Bhagavat Sangi Sangasya. See here. This word Bhagavat Sangi Sangasya, it has this particular sloka which you are seeing on my screen, it has come 3 times in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Tulayam Lavena Api Naswargam Napunarbhavam has come twice exactly. And once Kshanena api tulaye na swargam na punarbhavam, like that it has come. You see the hit list you see here. Srimad Bhagavatam 3 times, 3 slokas are there. You are able to see my screen. First canto it has come, fourth canto 2 times. Again you see here. Kshananardhena api tulaye na swargam na punar bhagavat sangi sangasya martyanam kimupatasya. So this particular sloka it has in the Srimad Bhagavatam has come thrice actually. To show that how the weight of this sloka, how important it is. Simply by associating with one pure devotee, irrespective of whatever mode one is, one can elevate it to the higher understanding of spiritual life. That's what is being explained in this purport by Srila Prabhupada. So now Krishna talks about ahar, food in different modes. So maybe we can we'll just go to the this particular Subodhini. Yeah, foods in the 3 modes. Yeah, somebody can read this one. One can make out of a person this particular.
One can make out a person's mode of faith by seeing his activities of eating ahar, sacrifice yajna, austerity tapa, and charity dana. Krishna will describe the 3 types of each of these 4 items.
For all these 4 items, ahara, yajna, tapasya, and dan will be categorized into three now. Mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. So that's how the slokas will come now. But we'll just go to the Subodhini and directly we'll read from here. Yeah, you can read the this red line one and you read the corresponding meaning also. Please read foods in mode of goodness.
Foods in the mode of goodness. Ahyu sattva balarogya. One's lifespan, purity, strength, health.
Then
Sukha priti, happiness and satisfaction. Tikshna ruksha vidhahinah, pungent, dry, and burning.
No, where you are reading? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just one. Not that one.
Oh, okay, up, okay.
Yeah, Vivardhana means will increase.
Vivardhana will increase by such foods. Rasya snigdha sthira hritya. They are juicy, fatty, wholesome, and pleasing to the heart. Aharaha satvika priyaha. Such are the foods dear to people in goodness.
Yeah, so such are also Sattuguni food, and people who are in Sattvagun, they like such kind of food. It's both the ways. These are Sattuguni food in itself, and people who are in Sattvagun, they like this kind of food, juicy, and you also saw that it increases the lifespan, pure, and gives strength. And then foods in mode of passion, how it is.
Foods in mode of passion. Katva amla lavanya tushna. Foods that are excessively bitter, sour, salty, hot.
See, the word ati is here. Lavana ati. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that ati will be used in all places. Ati katu, ati amla, ati lavan, ati ushna. Like that he says. Ati will be ati tikshna, ati rukshma, like that he says. Ati will be used everywhere. Means it is then these are the foods in mode of passion. Yeah, read. Yeah.
Tikshna ruksha vidhahinah. Pungent, dry, and burning. Ahara rajasaseshta are dear to those in mode of passion. Dukkha sokhamaya. They cause distress.
Dukkha, shoka, amaya. Dukkha means पेन डिस्ट्रेस एंड शोक मीन्स लैमेंटेशन अरे क्यों खा लिया अरे मैं क्यों खा लिया इसको नहीं खाना चाहिए था क्यों खा लिया मैं दैट इज कॉल्ड लैमेंटेशन शोक नहीं खाना चाहिए था फिर भी मैं खा लिया लाइक समटाइम वी फील अरे मैं बोल रहा हूँ नहीं खाना चाहिए वो पिछली बार मैं आई टुक अ वाव दैट आई विल नॉट ईट दिस फूड बट अगेन यू वेट दैट इज कॉल्ड लैमेंटेशन एंड देन amaya means disease they give disease yeah then food in mode of goodness in ignorance yeah
Foods in mode of ignorance. Yatayamam gata rasam. Foods which are stale, tasteless.
and yama
Puti par.
means actually 3 hours that the time of 3 hours is called yama. So any food which is which has passed more than 3 hours becomes in mode of ignorance. That does not apply to prasad. Once it is offered to the Lord, then you know the glories of prasadam. It never becomes stale, never becomes even it has come from a long distance. It has kept for many hours. It does not become externally. It might have become appear that it is, but prasad does not become like that. The prasad remains the same purifying potency remains in the prasad. So like that. But as such, the foods are like this. Yeah, read.
Puti paryushitam chayat. Bad smelling, decomposed. And Uchishtam api chamedhyam. Consisting of remnants and untouchable things. Bhojanam tamasa priyam is dear to those in the mode of darkness.
Now, Uchista here does not mean the Uchista of great souls. The Uchista of great souls are purely transcendental, and Uchista Lepan Anumodita Dujai, like that. Narad Muni says. Narad Muni became Narad Muni because of having the remnants of the Bhakti Vedantas. So many people become devotees simply by eating remnant of Srila Prabhupada. It is said 18 Mahabal, Bhakta Dhuli, Bhakta Pada Dhuli, Bhakta Padajal, and Bhakta Bhunkta Avashesh. These 18 Mahabal. So these three things are very powerful. Most powerful thing, it is Mahabal, it is being told. The dust of the pure devotees' lotus feet, and the water that has washed their lotus feet, and the food remnants of these pure devotees. That's not the Uchishta. They are not in mode of ignorance. But in general, any other human being, Uchishta is considered to be very contaminating. One should not touch. If you touch them, you should take bath. Like I had gone to once, one Sankalpa camp. I was there in one Gaudiya Math in Puri. We were staying there. That day was Ekadasi. So this Maharaj, we were serving prasadam and our chatai was spread and there. So Maharaj, he just stepped over the one remnant and he went to take bath. I was thinking, we don't care. But they were like, he went to take bath. So they considered it to very impure. Okay. Fine. Then the sacrificing mode of 3 modes. There we'll recite the Sanskrit slokas otherwise. Okay. Yeah, I think this one. अफलाकांक्षिभिर्यज्ञो
अफलाकाङ्क्षिभिर्यज्ञो
विधिदष्टो युज्यते
विधिदष्टो य युज्यते
यष्टव्यम् एवेति मनः
यष्टव्यमेवेति मनः
समाधाय स सात्विकः.
समाधाय स सात्विकः.
Here Krishna is explaining a person, he has faith in the yajnas, that yajnas should be done. His faith is not rooted in the scriptures, but he knows that it should be done. And why, if you ask him why it should be done, he said, oh, it should be done. My family, my father did, my uncle did, everybody, now yajna has to be done. Why are you asking this question? That so it has to be done. Sir, do you have any desire? No, I don't have any desire. My father did it, that's why I'm doing it. Yashtabhyam. It has to be done. So this kind of faith is called Satyoguni faith. He doesn't have faith or love for the Supreme Lord. When Maharaj Yudhishthira was doing yajna, that was out of love. Rajaswa yajna. But here this kind of person who has, that is called Satyoguni faith. He knows that, and he does not have any fruit of falakankshi here. He is not desiring any fruit out of that yajna. As soon as somebody will desire the fruit, it will become Rajoguni yajna. But he is not desiring any fruit. No, sir, I don't want anything. My family tradition, we have been doing it. It has to be done. It is beneficial. And the Brahmanas will come, they will do the yajna. He will not understand the mantras also not much. So that's how it is. Yeah. Read the translation.
तन्मय प्रभु.
Of sacrifices, the sacrifice performed according to the directions of Scripture as a matter of duty by those who desire no reward is one of the nature of goodness.
And definitely, it has to be the scripture, the yajna has to be, performed the way it has been mentioned in the scriptures, not whimsically out of, some Asuri Shastra, not like that. Then it will not be in moral goodness. Okay. So there is 2 things you'll find also: yajna, yajan, and ijan. Yajna and ijyante. Ijyante means worshipping the Lord, deity worship. That is like upasana kand. And yajna is basically the karma kand section. Like that. Okay. Prabhupada explains in the purport very nicely. Somebody has a purpose. Now you say, Avishandhaya tu phalam
अविसन्धाय तु फलं
dambhartham api chaivayat
दम्भार्थमपि चैव यत्
ijyante bharata srestha
युज्यते भरतश्रेष्ठ
tam yagyam vidhirajasam.
तं यज्ञं विधिराजसम्.
Avishandhaya tu phalam, desiring fruit. As soon as somebody desires fruit, ये fruit चाहिए, ये फल होना चाहिए, पुत्र प्राप्त होना चाहिए, कामेष्टि हो गया तो फिर वो रजोगुणी हो जाएगा. Like that. Okay, you can read here.
विष्णु प्रभु.
But the sacrifice performed for some material benefit or for the sake of pride, O chief of the Bharatas, you should know to be in the mode of passion.
Yeah. Prabhupada says somebody is aspiring to go to heaven. Okay, vidhihinam asrishtanam
विधिहीनमशिष्टान्नं
mantrahinam adakshinam
मन्त्रहीनम् अदक्षिणम्
shraddha virahitam yagyam
श्रद्धाविरहितं यज्ञं
tamasam parichakshate.
तामसं परिचक्षते.
Now, vidhihinam means there is no vidhi. It is without any scriptural injunction. There is no scriptural injunction being followed. Mantrahinam, no mantras are chanted. Adakshina, no dakshina is given. They don't give any dakshina. So And then Shraddha Virahitam, no faith. You may say, Prabhuji, initial condition was Shraddha and Vitam. Having no faith is also a symptom of a particular type of stature of faith. That's why it is in Shraddha Virahitam. They have no faith in the process. That's why it is Tamoguni Yajna. Yeah, you can read.
Ayan Prabhu.
Any sacrifice performed without regard for the directions of scriptures, without distribution of prasadam, ritual food, without chanting of Vedic hymns and the remunerations to the priest, and without faith is considered to be in the mode of ignorance.
Yeah, without faith. Sometimes we can be also chanting without faith. Chanting without faith means inattentive chanting. We are chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. No faith is there, but we are chanting. If faith is not there, you may ask, oh, how somebody is doing? Because there are maybe desire or what n number of reasons can be there that may not be discussed here. But somebody can be chanting without faith. Similarly, one does yajna has no faith in the way, carelessly doing like that. Okay. Fine. So this is about yajna we discussed. And now comes tapasya. But before explaining about tapasya, Krishna first talks about tapasya of body, tapasya of mind, and tapasya of body and speech. These three factors of our body, mind, and words. Tapasya of all at three levels. And then he will tell tapasya in modes. So now first is talking about tapasya of the sariram, that is tapasya of the body. Very famous shloka. Deva Dvija Guru Pragya.
Deva Dvija Guru Pradnya.
I think we can take this in the next class. We have covered 14 shlokas. Most likely we have how many? Towards the end? 28. So almost halfway through 17 chapters. Okay. Actually, 18th chapter is very long. It might take a full month. For 18th chapter, it will be technical discussions will come, but towards the end it will go very fast. So Shantanu Prabhu, do you have a time limit when we have to complete this 18th chapter?
We'll need to check with Sakshat Chaturji
Okay.
how he has planned the schedule.
By
I'm
now,
not aware
I think
actually.
by now I have taken 2 weeks, no Prabhu, or 3 weeks.
I think 2 weeks, Prabhuji. Yeah. 2 and
Including this, I
3,
think
3.
3 weeks. No?
Including
3.
these 3 weeks, yes. Including these 3 weeks, yes.
Okay. Fine. Okay. So, is there any question somebody would like to ask? Comment? Yes, Asim Prabhu.
Prabhuji, as we were discussing about the yajna, so if there is, it is without any desire, one of the characteristics for in mode of goodness was no desire, and the one of the characteristics for passion is desire. So one person asked me few days back here, we had nursing yajna, nursing Chaturdasi in our temple. So many new people and many people were participated. There was some fees and something like that. So he was asking that I am reading Gita and I am hearing lectures. People say that there is no only one yajna, Sankirtan yajna is there. I mean to say, wow. So I simply said that I don't know much. I will let you know once I will ask something I do. Did you understand my question, Proji, what I am trying to ask?
No, I did not get it.
Proji, when we are doing yajnas, nursing again others. So how to see that it's beyond mode in the modes because people with different faith they are coming for different
Okay,
purpose
I understood.
participating in this
Okay.
one question. And his next question was when we are hearing in scriptures and other and in lectures that only one yajna prescribed for this age is chanting of Hare Krishna, then why you people are doing various kind of yajnas? Even he was asking for the yajna happening in the Diksha. This is my question. Thank you.
Okay, so first question is that why we do? See, we don't do as a sadhana. This is not our sadhana. This is we do it as a part of the rituals. First thing, and second thing, people don't have so much faith that Sankirtan yajna has to be done. People don't have faith. So to engage them, like Bharat Maharaj also did yajna. And so he to attract other people who don't have that much level of faith. But he himself, when he used to do yajna, he would see that this is a Indraya Swaha Idam Namama. He would see Indra as a hand of the Supreme Lord. So person who is doing it, he has a very staunch faith. That's why everything depends upon the leader. It's not so much about for others. It is done. It is done to evolve and to take them to a gradual next level. So when you do, of course, it is not definitely useless also, because many mantras of the Lord Narsinga names are chanted. The mantras of these Narsinga stotras and all, they are chanted, and they are divine mantras. They are purely nirguna. Lord's names are chanted. We chant Narsinga Dev's mantras. That Narsinga Gayatri is being chanted 108 times. Right, the Narsinga mantras is chanted. So all these are not in modes. There are certain people chant, they benefit. Definitely they benefit. And people have, it is more easier for them to faith than just sit down and then, chant the holy name, hear the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. They don't have that much faith. But as soon as you put fires, put flags, festoons, balloons, and then put some, this gulal, and put these fruits, and people wearing utri, they roam around, then people feel, oh, now something is happening. Some serious business is going on here. But as soon as you see a person sitting and just taking a jhola, people feel, अरे आज कुछ है नहीं क्या program. So to make them, to draw their attention, this is being done. People will feel, okay, now something is happening. So gradually they'll get connected, and because to bring people's faith into the holy name is a very difficult task, actually. Very, very difficult. Very difficult. They're fortunate are those souls who know that the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra is everything. Like once His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj. So somebody asks, Maharaj, you don't have any deities. We see that sorry. We see that the Goswamis in Vrindavan, all of them have personal deities. You don't have any deities. So Maharaj just takes out his mala and says, takes out and says that this is my deity. Like that Maharaj says. So you can see. So people don't have faith, but so many people, everybody will not have that much faith. Prabhupada also, he hammers again and again and again. This chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra is the process in Kali Yuga. But people will not have that much faith. So it is done to gradually bring them. They will stay connected with the sadhus. They will have attraction for the sadhus. They will be surrounded with the sadhus, and they will keep themselves within the jurisdiction of ISKCON's Bhakti paradigm. And then gradually they will also see, and then eventually they will get faith in reading the scriptures, Gita, and then chant. They will start chanting like that. So it is done for that purpose. Not that we do it as a sadhan. We don't. These are sadhan every day. We don't do as a sadhan. The way the Sri Sampradaya Vaishnavas do. Okay. Some other devotees also have raised hand. Maybe you can give chance, and then you have further question you can ask.
Yes.
Mandar Prabhu has asked. You can ask Mandar Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So my doubt is in 17.4 Bhagavad Gita. So in that Lord has given divisions of worship in mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. So in that he is mentioning that mode of goodness, people they worship the demigods. Passion, they worship the demons, and those who are in ignorance, they worship ghosts and spirits. So and when we describe, even in Padma Purana also, it says that the kind of worship people do in three modes. So in that we categorize based on devatas. We say who worship Vishnu is in goodness, and who worship devatas are in mode of passion, and who worship Lord Shiva is in mode of ignorance. So
Yes,
it is like yeah. So is it like categorization within this goodness also there are three modes?
No. Actually, what happens there? You are very correct. You have rightly taken out this. When that kind of sloka is taken, there Lord Vishnu is seen as the leader of the demigods, and Brahma is seen as the leader of this yakshas and all these things, and Lord Shiva is seen as the leader of the ghost and hobgoblin, like that.
Oh.
Yes.
And I have one more doubt, Koji. So after that, the food in three modes are described, and there, of course, we had the glories of prasad also. So my doubt is, even when we are in bhakti, despite we are taking prasad every day, but still, according to one's body type, even if I don't say body type, even we recommend that we should take food which is not that much spicy, despite it is offered to Lord. And because still, spiritually it is purifying, but materially it has effect on mind and consciousness. So I have this doubt only, that this how we take prasad, in which context, especially when we say about, at last it is prasad. Prasad means it doesn't have, it will purify our consciousness at last. But still, in that also we categorize in goodness, passion, ignorance, that what we should take, what we should not take. So how we should understand this?
Yeah. So this is because of our faith. If a person has a very staunch faith, for him nothing will happen. Definitely. For nothing. Like we go to Radha Kund. So when you go to Radha Kund or you go to some, Vrindavan, this pukurs and all. So we do achman, but if you drink the water, many devotees, they fall sick. You will fall sick because we are not on that level actually. We are still on the, definitely in the modes. This Patel and Srila Prabhupada morning discussions, Prabhupada says Guru's body is spiritual, transcendental. Patel says no. Guru's body, how your body is transcendental. Prabhupada says Guru's body is spiritual. Patel says no. Guru's body is material. Guru has attained the spiritual level, but his body is material. Prabhupada says this is Mayavad. Guru's body is spiritual. It is acting on a spiritual platform. So our body has not become fully spiritual because of our it is under the modes. So it will take that aspect of although it is prasadam. So it will not get tuned into that frequency in which the prasad is actually in, because we will not be able to access that level because we are in modes. So naturally, whatever the faith and action will be there, accordingly it will act. So it will not act very divinely. But a person who has faith, for him nothing will work. If you see, this is Brahma, like Shankaracharya. When Shankaracharya was going along with his disciples, he went to a particular place. There are a lot of this Madhya Bhanda was kept. So Shankaracharya, they took it, and he took it. He told, "This is Brahma. This is Brahma." So one Brahma entering into another Brahma, nothing will happen. So he took the wine pot and he dug, he drank everything. So all his disciples, they told, "This is Brahma. This is Brahma." So they also took. But Shankaracharya went ahead, did not say anything. And then he went ahead. There was an iron shop. That is this blacksmith place. Even molten iron was kept. Shankaracharya lifted one pot and told, "This is Brahma. This is Brahma." So Brahma entering into another Brahma. So he hot iron he drank. Nothing happened to him. And no disciple touched. This is Brahma. They did not do it. So this is because of Shankaracharya in that level. So we are not in that level, and accordingly it will work. So for them, they got intoxicated by drinking that wine. Shankaracharya did not get intoxicated by drinking that.
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you.
Okay, Prabhu, we'll stop here. So Asim Prabhu, want to say something?
I just one more clarification on that only. He said, I understood you said the intention of leader matters, who is performing the yajna, others doesn't matter. So it is transcendental. I understood that. He was telling that you people say that yajna is not prescribed in this age for two reasons. The proper brahmanas are not there, and second, proper materials are not there. So how I understood in one way that the purpose is to elevate them, but still he asked, so I'm asking what should we explain for this? So he said that why then you do the yajna if proper materials are not there? Yeah, right.
Now our most important element is the element of when we are doing it is in the element of devotion. We want to please the Lord, and we say that Bhavagrahijanardhan, whatever is there, Lord, please accept. So everything is done for your purpose, for pleasing you. Even this yajna is done so that people will come and to be your devotee. So everything is done in the purpose of pleasing the Supreme Lord. So that aspect is highlighted. Not that what element we had, whether many times we do yajnas, there are many processes are wrong actually. If you see, you call them these traditional Satrayaji Brahmanas, they will understand many things are wrong. Many things are not there. Many things is not place, time, and all these things are not there. Not only the element, many things are not there. But our purpose is let the Supreme Lord be pleased. Like we do yajna also, initiation. Many times the Guru, he does not do any yajna, he just gives the name, takes the vow and gives the mala. So you may say, how he does that? He did not do any yajna, Guru did not sit in the yajna. So it does not matter actually. Our
Understood.
Bhagavad Vidhi, so it's not so much of Pancharatrika Vidhi. It is done solely for purpose of preaching. And whatever aspects, best aspect of, it's the best use of bad bargain that comes into the picture, we definitely use it. Okay, thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you. Correct.
Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Jai.